Hello everyone, and welcome to another viewer-submitted deck brought to us by Mark, I believe is how he pronounces his first name. And he saw the 12-ball deck, and he sent me an email with the title, Heard You Like Balls. And I have to say, if you're trying to get my attention, there's hardly a better way than to send an intriguing title like that to HeyDummyPlayThis at gmail.com. That's HeyDummyPlayThis at gmail.com. So he sent over his list, and lucky for him, I don't think there was anything here I really needed to acquire that cost anything on Magic Online. So I'm ready to jump into his deck, but something interesting happened while I was doing testing before I turned the camera on. I ran into another Rakdos deck that was running Lightning Skelemental that we'll get into after we play a game or two with the list he sent to me. So for those of you out there, if you send a list to me, I will absolutely record at least 1 or 2 games with your list exactly how you send it to me, but then after that I might tweak it towards my own preferences and how I might think it works better with my monkey brain as opposed to yours. So let's go ahead and run through the deck as it was sent to me and play a game or two, and then I think I have a couple of tweaks I want to try. But first, of course, we have the stars of the show, Lightning Skelemental and Ball Lightning. So much like last time, they're the same creatures. They're 6/1s with trample. Lightning Skelemental makes your opponent discard a couple cards when it touches, so it's a lightning on a stick. From there, that combos with Thunderkin Awakener, so you bring them back over and over and over again. So really, this entire deck is trying to get a Lightning Skelemental either in your hand or in the graveyard, and a Thunderkin Awakener to hit your opponent with it over and over and over again. Combo that with a handful of pieces of removal in Fatal Push as well as Lightning Bolt, Flamekin Harbingers to find your Thunderkin Awakeners to start the fun, a little bit of backup with Kroxa for inevitability, and this way you don't run out of gas so long as you can find Kroxa in your graveyard, some Unearths to put your elementals back into play, and also casting Lightning Skelemental or Ball Lightning for 1 mana, and of course, what would it be black and modern without Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions of Kozilek. Now, the land base is another thing that I might tweak a little bit, as it has 1 pathway, 4 Blood Crypts, 4 Bloodstained Mire, 2 Dragon Skull Summits. These are the ones I'm questionable on. 4 mountains, 2 Polluted Delta, 1 Shizo Death Storehouse to make the Kroxa essentially unblockable as long as your opponent isn't playing artifact creatures or black, and finally 2 swamps. In the sideboard, we're running 3 Collective Brutalities, a wonderful little toolbox card, also allows you to pitch your Ball Lightnings and Lightning Skelementals into the graveyard. 2 Tourach Dread Cantors, these are great, mostly against things that have white removal, so control decks, you're normally not even kicking them, you're just slamming them in and being like, haha, interact with this. 2 Dreadboards take out the Planeswalkers and more creatures. Some Terminates, which even the person who sent this in to me said, hey, you might want to switch the Fatal Pushes and the Terminates between the main and the side, depending on meta. This was to his local meta. 2 Fulminator Mages. Boy, do I love casting Fulminator Mage and then casting Unearth and then blowing up someone else's land. That's a fun little trick. And finally, 3 Kolaghan's Command, another toolbox card. So, basic little deck. It has the same plan as the Ball deck, which is just Hulk Smash. Now, obviously, we're not playing green in this deck, so we don't have any Birds of Paradise, we don't have any Ignoble Hierarchs, but this, in my opinion, is the better version of the deck. We're playing some Corpse Churns as well as Thrill of Possibilities. Sorry, I forgot about those for half a second, just to kind of move things around. So let's play a game or two with this exactly how it is, and then let's see if I can make it infinitely worse by tuning something that I've only played a handful of times versus a list that the guy who plays it all the time sent it to me on. All right, join me, won't you? All right, we have lost the die roll. However, see, we have a Corpse Churn, we have a Kroxa, we have an Unearth, so we can really attack our opponent's hand. I don't think that's enough. Let's try and throwing this back. This seems better. This seems infinitely better. So we don't have any black mana to play the Lightning Skelemental, but we have Flamekin Harbingers, and we have our Thrill of Possibility to put it in the bin. So let's put back 1 Flamekin, because depending, if we draw a black source, then we'll first turn Flamekin. Let's see, Teamer. Because we might just want a second Thunderkin, because Thunderkins tend to eat it pretty quick once they get on the field. Let's see what we draw here. Blood Crypt. Okay, so now I'm more than happy playing Mountain, Flamekin Harbinger, and getting a second Thunderkin Awakener, because the first one I'm pretty sure is going to get its teeth kicked in here. So yep, love to use Flamekin Harbinger's ability, get another Thunderkin Awakener. This way, if our first one dies, we have a second one. The only downside to these types of tutors is it removes your draw, and also if your opponent is doing any mill, it also just took the card you absolutely wanted and pitched it into the bin. But let's see what our opponent gets up to, because so far they have Teamer, not much else. They didn't do anything else, which leads me to believe my Thunderkin Awakener is going to get absolutely wrecked, but you got to play through the removal here. Plus, we have another one, so... Oh, is this just a counter now? Oh, no. Okay, so this might be a domain deck. They're getting all the colors of the rainbow here. We couldn't have done anything better than play the Thunderkin Awakener, and next turn we could just play Lightning Skelemental. Or we could even, depending on if we feel like they're going to kill our creature, we could thrill a possibility, pitch Lightning Skelemental, and flick it out with that. But, like, it depends on what our opponent does here. Blue, black, red, or what? There's Mari Command. Okay, so our guy does eat it. We kind of knew that was going to happen. Okay, so this is the new King of the Mountain deck, the, Kaladesh thing. We try another Thunderkin Awakener, get wrecked opponent. All right. Yeah, we're just gonna Lightning Skelemental our opponent. Our opponent is doing that new thing, was it Indomitable Creativity? And they're just gonna go get multiple Archons of Cruelty and beat us that way, but here's hoping that we can slow them down. Because next turn we do get to Lightning Skelemental again. It's carded a Scalding Tarn and a Dwarven Mine. I'm imagining next turn they get the Archon out. Okay, so they had 3 out of the 4 Dwarven Mines in their deck. Here's Indomitable Creativity for 1. Here comes Archon. I have to discard a card. Did they already gain 3? I think they already... No, they haven't gained their 3 yet, because I have to discard a card. So, I actually think we get rid of a Thunderkin. They go to 10. Because, like, I don't think they blink at other thrill possibility. Okay, well now, I can safely say that discarding Thunderkin Awakener was wrong, because we drew another thrill possibility. Alright, so we bring the Lightning Skelemental back. We swing in for quite a bit. Block that. They go to 4. They have to discard 2. I don't think they care, though, once they get the Archon out. Oh, another... Alright, so now our thing double dies. So we need to find, like, an Unearth or something. Luckily, we have a Thrill to dig a little bit more. Persist. Okay, or we just get absolutely wrecked. Just undoubtedly destroyed. That's actually the first thing in this deck that I kind of looked at that, you know, friend of the channel, Mark, sent in. There's no Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. I think he's just trying to be faster. I think some form of Graveyard Hate might be important. Because, oh boy, is this Indomitable deck just real good at getting Archons of Cruelties out into the battlefield. Oh man, we got dumpstered. They're at 10. Is there any world where we kill them? Just any at all? I don't think so. Wow. Okay, what do we draw? We draw nothing and we die. Cool. That sure was a thing. What do we do? I guess we try and stop their lands. Fulminator Mage. I think once we get the Archon out, that's a little too late, but we can kind of pick it apart with Collective Brutality and just take their spells. Fatal Push does nothing. That's an easy pull. The discard spells are great. We need to get rid of 3 things, though. Maybe even just getting rid of some of the Flamekin Harbingers, because I feel like we kind of need our sideboard things to win. Maybe this is super wrong, but I feel like this is our best shot. So let's try this. All right. I would love to play first. I mean, sure. We have a Thoughtseize, we have a Thunderkin Awakener, we have a Thrill Possibility. We have all sorts of things I could... Well, we don't want to draw any more lands, so let's go ahead and just go get a Swamp. See if we can disrupt their hand a bit. Emrakul, Archon, Indomitable, Renin 6. So we only have 1 hand disruption spell right now. So I'm actually going to take Indomitable Creativity, because like Renin 6 doesn't do a ton. I mean, it gets them a land drop every turn, but we're going to try and kill them before, like, they're hard casting Archons. And, like, Renin 6 doesn't kill things at instant speed, so I'm not terribly worried. What do we draw? An Unearth. Fascinating. So, do we play the Thunderkin Awakener or not? Thunderkin Awakener does 1 damage and doesn't do anything other than that. So, I guess we hold and we thrill a possibility on their end step, trying to find something for the Thunderkin Awakener to hit hard with. Because I have to assume their entire turn is just going to be, yeah, Renin 6. So they get to put the Arid Mesa back in their hand. Yep, sure thing. And we thrill. Thrill a possibility, discarding a Swamp. Lightning Skelemental. All right, so it kind of hurts to play Lightning Skelemental to kill a Renin 6, but I feel like that's kind of where we're at. Also, helping them discard is probably not where we want to be, if I'm being honest. So, it's like, if they just Archon of Cruelty with, wrong one. If they just Archon of Cruelty with a Persist, then I think we still die. So we'll just kill Renin 6, and then it's going to take them forever to kind of get there. And then hopefully beating them up from that point kind of slows them down a touch. There goes Renin 6. And we have the Thunderkin Awakener Lightning Skelemental kind of set up now, but hard evidence. Did they get another Indomitable Creativity is the question. So we draw what? Another Lightning Bolt. So you just bolt this thing out of the way. I mean, if this ends up helping them, we really have no other plan B. And like I said, this deck has no graveyard hate, which might be an error. Oh, is this just a counter? This might just be like a remand or something. Oh no. Okay, fascinating. Yep, here comes Skelemental. And dealing them 7 damage is not a small amount of damage. They're going to discard the Archon and something else. Oh, they're going to discard both things and shuffle it back in. Weird. So we don't know their hand anymore, which might have been why they did that. Also, I guess if they're going to Indomitable Creativity for 1, they want the Embercool in their deck. Sacking the Clue, drawing a card. If they have Indomitable Creativity after this, there's not much we can do about it. But otherwise, okay, so there's a Dwarven Mine. If they creativity, they creativity. Art evidence. Okay, so they're not doing that. They're just trying to stay alive. Luckily for us, we have a Bolt and another Thunderkin Awakener. So let's take the damage. Let's play out the Awakener and go swinging. Here's the Thunderkin Awakener, bringing back a Skelemental. Put them to 2, and then even before they get to discard, we just bolt them. Didn't care what they were discarding. I pretty much know all 75 cards in their deck. That worked. They didn't exactly have graveyard hate for us. I think that's about as well as it's going to go, is you just attack their hand, kind of shrug and hope for the best. So game 3, don't think there's anything we can really change with the sideboard right now. We just hope we get hand disruption in our opening 7. No hand disruption. I mean, it has the Thunderkin Awakener. It has Lightning Skelemental. There's no third land. If we Flamekin Harbinger, that takes away a draw. They keep 7 is the question, actually. They keep 7, so they have something. So I feel like we have to mull to hand disruption. Collective Brutalities. Oh yeah, this'll work. This is sad, but we can't actually cast Ball Lightning, so goodbye. I realize this is an 8. Ooh, Leyline of the Void. Okay, well, kind of happy we didn't keep our opening hand, but now we just get to start ripping their hand apart. So Thoughtseize. So the thing to remember is Collective Brutalities can only take instances and sorceries, which means we're going to take a Lightning Bolt next turn because we can't take Archon or Fable. So let's just take Wrenn and 6. We'll take their turn 2 play. Like next turn we can take a Lightning Bolt, but that's all Collective Brutalities can take. They can't take enchantments, although like we would love to rip that Fable of the Mirror Breaker out of their hand. And we really don't have anything we want to pitch to Collective Brutality because Leyline of the Void is a thing. Another Blood Crypt. Well, all we're going to do is Collective Brutality 1 mode. So clear their hand here. Take the Lightning Bolt. We need to start finding threats quick. We will be able to kill their token with our final Collective Brutality and take one last look at their hand, but that's about as good as we're going to do here. Oh, okay. Well, I don't even have to right now. Man, we drew a lot of lands. So Blood Crypt untapped just in case, and red-black, thrill a possibility, discarding the mountain, see what we find. Well then, that does us no favors when our opponent has a Leyline. Oh man, this is the second week in a row, opponent having graveyard hate, which everyone has right now, except for me at this exact moment. Fable of the Mirror Breaker really does kind of dumpster you. There's the Shaman, which we have to kill that thing. Okay, a mountain. Well, at least we have things to discard. So black, Collective Brutality, escalate, bibbity, bobbity, boobity, and discard mountain, discard Blood Crypt. Okay, well, their hand is pretty useless. Then again, ours isn't doing great either. They're never going to cast that Leyline of the Void, so we might as well just run Kroxa out. There's no downside to it. Because we have no way of removing the enchantments on the board. Come on, I'm yielding through the turn game. So if they find Indomitable, if they get more lands, they're just kind of... Oh, they discarded Archon. They discarded multiple Archons. Because they're trying to persist, I guess. All right, we need to start finding things to deal damage or we're just going to die pretty quickly. Inquisition, they have no cards in hand. Next turn. Cycled something. So many Dwarven Mines, so many things. I almost want them to have the combo at this point because this is like a really hard board to kind of fight through. Oh, did I summon it? I feel like I summoned it. Yep, okay, well, we're super dead. All right, game, all right. Turns out Rakdos 8-Ball, while a fun deck, is not as good as the best deck in Modern. But we did win a game, so we have that going for us. Unearth, well, let's cycle for funsies. And a Lightning Bolt. You know what? With Hells, I stab at thee. I stab at thee in my final moments. All right, well, we tried. Let's go to the deck and let's play with it a little bit before the next game. What do you guys think? Okay, so truth be told, I think the main deck is pretty okay, minus some lands that I personally don't enjoy. And I think the sideboard, while it has a lot of things that can take out things that have already hit the board, it might just need to be a little bit more reactive to things that are happening around it. The fact that it has 0 graveyard hate is concerning, considering that there's so much going on in the graveyard right now, and so many people want things in the graveyard for things like Dragon Rage Channeler, Indomitable Creativity, those types of decks. So let's talk about that other deck that I was kind of looking at earlier. It was a deck that I was playing against while I was testing this before I turned the camera on, and it was very, very similar, and it dumpstered me. It was actually a Rakdos Rack deck, and what happened was I was playing, and I thought it was a mirror match, but it turns out it wasn't. It was this, and I believe the gentleman's name is Sylvester. Thanks again for sending me the list. After he beat me, I sent him a message on Mitgo, and I was like, hey, can I have your list? And he was nice enough to show it off, and as you can tell here, this is a completely different vibe. So, as much as I would love to throw the Urza Sagas into my deck, it wouldn't really work because I have so many red pips in a row. Not being able to cast Ball Lightning off the top would probably kind of wreck my deck. However, this sideboard interests me. So here, rather than having kind of our toolbox approach, this has very specific things going on. Now, what I like about it is the go blanks, so we might play with that a little bit because it rips your opponent's hand apart even more, and I think when you're running Skelementals and you're just trying to punch all the time, but perhaps that's 3 mana to do nothing, that might not be where we want to go. The Relics of Progenitus are also another idea. They're a 1-drop, they're easy to do. They do blow up our graveyard as well, though. Other things to look forward to here are things like the Angers, though we don't want to blow up our own Thunderkin Awakener. The Blood Moons, interesting, we do play a lot of basics, and a lot of our stuff, really, if we just have red mana or 1 swap, we can kind of get away with, so maybe we want to look into that. Shattering Spree, I don't... So let's go back to our deck. Are we that 1-drop heavy? Yeah, I'd say a little bit. We are that 1-drop heavy. I guess we have the K commands for that. And like the Thunderkin Awakener, that's interesting. Okay, so anyway, what are we kind of taking out here? So I think the Collective Brutalities are good going up against that. I think maybe we can kind of go down some Terminates, maybe keep the Dreadbores, and use Leyline of the Void. This way it doesn't actually take any of our cards out of our hand here, and it also doesn't affect our graveyard. I think things like Unlicensed Hearse is just not where I would personally want to be. I think things like the staff from the new Theros set, again, not necessarily where I want to be. I think we're so mana intensive that Leyline of the Void is really personally what I want to get up to. So how many Leylines of the Voids do we want, though? We can take out all the Terminates. I mean, we have... I think the Collective Brutalities, the K commands are kind of necessary. Fulminator Mages are great. I don't want to get rid of them. Maybe we do just give up on Terminate for a little bit, and we put in 3... Oop, nope. Wrong area, over here. 3 Leyline of the Voids to kind of stop our opponent from doing that. Now, is there anything else? Tourach's great. Maybe we only need 2 K commands, and we can try... Like, what else would we want, though? Because we already have 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Inquisition. I thought about, like, Deadly Dispute in this deck, too, but honestly, I think we're so tight on the mana, we don't cast a Skelemental and Deadly Dispute on the same turn. Although it would give us something to do with the Flamekin Harbingers. I guess we could also use Voidwalkers instead of Leyline. Those, like, kind of attack, and they give us a little bit of, like, resiliency in stealing our opponent's stuff. I mean, what if, and follow me on this, what if we take out the Corpse Churns and put in 2 Voidwalks? What if we did that? I feel like that these might be a little bit more threatening, and it also like gives us a little bit of main board graveyard hate, which is a little important in the online meta right now. What about these Dragon Skull Summits? Now, the thing about the Dragon Skull Summits is you end up with a hand that's like Dragon Skull Summits, Shizo, and the Pathway, and like things don't come in untapped, or it's like your only land, or you get both of them. So rather than those, what about Blackcleave Cliffs? We could try the Blackcleave Cliffs, see if I'm just wrong. But actually, like, we don't need to go above 3, so I feel like the Blackcleave Cliffs would just be better in my own personal thing. I would also just run 3 Blackcleave Cliffs and not run the Pathway, but I suppose I have to give the Pathway a chance. So we've tuned it a little bit. Let's see if I've made it worse. Let's go to a match 2. Hey, look at that. We won a die roll. It's out of the way because it's super big and annoying. And yes, we'd love to play first. We don't do anything until turn 3. I feel like that's slow for Modern. Let's try again. This seems better. So give up on one of the Blood Crypts. Like, our turn 1 is literally just play Blood Crypt tapped and pass. So here's hoping that our opponent doesn't... Actually, our opponent ripping our hand apart wouldn't really do a ton now, would it? Because we have redundancy, and if they rip the Skelemental out of our hand, it's not like we would have used that anyway. Okay, our opponent just Overgrown Tomb pass. We draw another Lightning Skelemental. Well, everything is coming up Millhouse. Here comes Blackcleave Cliffs, and I know all of you in the comments can see how the Blackcleave Cliffs and the Dragon Skull Summit would have been the same thing. All right, so we attack for 1. And if this lives, great. If this dies, it doesn't really matter. We have another one in our hand. And, like, I feel like getting board presence is good. Next turn, we'll just cast Lightning Skelemental, start beating stuff up. But if this is, like, Yawgmoth or something, they have a million ways to kill Lightning Skelemental, so we'll see how she runs. A Plains, interesting. Farseek. So this is some sort of Titan deck? Probably. More than likely. I mean, they're ramping, so I'm assuming it's Titan. Gotha Triumph. Fascinating. We draw a Mountain. Well, sure, why not? Black, red, red. Lightning Skelemental. All right, and now we just get to cast multiple Lightning Skelementals per turn. So hopefully, before our opponent can really get anything down, we can... kind of just smack them out of the game super hard. So, Crunch. Put them to 12. What do you discard? Probably 2 lands. Yeah, 2 lands. No surprise there. We lose our dude. Now, assuming they don't do anything next turn, or like just play like a Steve or something, then we're pretty fine. Yeah, I mean... We no longer win, and we're going to lose 1 Thunderkin Awakener, but we're going to give them something to think about. Oh, do you have a Fatal Push? Because that would be sad. Now you can have all sorts of things that'll kill our thing. This looks like a Ratchet... Oh, okay, well. That's probably fine. I think we're going a little fast for them to Ratchet Bomb us to death. Because we're going to get 2 Lightning Skelementals next turn. They'll kill our Thunderkin Awakener, which is fine. But, you know, Lightning more lands. Lightning Skelemental, and then we attack, and the other Lightning Skelemental comes back. And then next turn we get Thunderkin Awakener. We get another Lightning Skelemental. So, you know, we're going fast. Actually, I suppose oh no, they just I suppose they're dead here. So, go fast, cast Lightning Skelemental, win games. All right, so this is some sort of Titan thing going on. I feel like the Fulminator Mages are kind of necessary. The K commands might be too slow, and I feel like Dreadbore is closing the door after we've been stomped quite thoroughly. So let's take out the Flamekin Harbingers. Let's take out the Fatal Pushes. Put these in. How many do we have? 59. We can put in 1 more. So either put a Flamekin Harbinger back or put a Dreadbore in to, like, stop the Titan after it already comes out, which doesn't necessarily seem like the best move. Suppose it could get something out of the way so we don't die. Because, like, we're really playing more player removal than anything here. I don't know. Let's try a Dreadbore. Let's try this. We might bring the Flamekin Harbingers back if we go to game 3. Mikko. Oh, there we are. Okay. Mikko was having a moment there for a second. Mikko has changed over to Daybreak Games, so we're seeing how that's going to work out. A Dreadbore, a Thunderkin Awakener, and a Kroxa, and no fetches to kind of feed the Kroxa. So let's mull. Fulminator Mage. Okay, this seems great. I actually think we give up on Ball Lightning, because turn 1 we Thoughtseize, turn 2 we hope we draw something, turn 3 we can see if Skelemental or Fulminator Mage will be better. Please don't have... Oh no, they have the Amulet. Oh no, Triumph, okay. So drawing a Thunderkin Awakener would be our best pull. Lightning Bolt. Well, that's not what we're doing off the bat. We're gonna take a peek at their hand, see what's going on. Oh, it's some sort of weird domain deck? Well, definitely Territorial Kavu. Don't wanna deal with that. So goodbye. All right, so next turn we really don't have a play. What is this? Joint Exploration. Scry 2, draw a card. If there's a quick, put a land card. So it's just like a domain, like super brewy thing. They have a Mox Amber. Temple of Malady. Okay, so we have a turn. I would love to draw one of our 2-drops. Either one would be great. Either the Voidwalker or a Thrill or just really anything would be nice. Swamp. Well, that's not what I asked for, so we'll play this tapped. Now all of our lands come into play untapped. Yes, I know if that was a Dragon Skull Summit, it would have done the same thing. Okay, proven myself right multiple times. See what they're next. They're playing the Watery Grave, playing it untapped, so it looks like they're going to Joint Exploration kicked and put the Fabled Passage into play. Although I suppose that's an instant, so they don't have to do it now. We're just going to bolt and use our mana. They need 7 mana to Garruk. So we can just Skelemental and attack their hand a bit. K command. Well, turns out we don't really need those, but for right now. Mountain, black, red, red, Lightning Skelemental. They'll probably discard like the Mox Amber because it doesn't really do anything. Here's the Joint Exploration. Yep. So it's like a slightly more expensive, slightly better / worse growth spiral. Another Temple of Malady. So they're just scrying a ton. They top bottomed. They topped. Okay, well, that's not good. We do get to cut their hand in half, though. Yeah, they got rid of the Mox Amber. So they still have Garruk. They still have Fabled Passage. Next turn, hopefully we find like an Unearth or a Thunderkin Awakener. I think would be the best. What does this guy even do? Destroy things, create beasts, destroy creatures. Game. Gotcha. There's the Fabled Passage. So all he has left in hand is Garruk and an Unknown. So if we could somehow Skelemental him again, that would be awesome. Ooh, is this Teferi? Bring to Light. Okay, well, he can get literally anything with that. The Nib miss it? Traumatize. Really? Is he traumatizing? Is he traumatizing me or is he traumatizing himself? He's traumatizing himself. I feel like some sort of, Vengevine Archimedes thing is about to happen. Totally called wrong on the deck it was, too. We sided not great. Also, I've hit okay, and our timer's still counting down, so, Mitgo, please. Mitgo. Oh, I didn't realize how many cards were in his deck. This is Battle of Wits, isn't it? I didn't realize he had like 4,000 cards in his deck. If I noticed that, I would have understood. Huh, well, we found Unearth, didn't we? So now our plan changes slightly. I have to assume there's things in this graveyard that he can pull out. So I guess what we do is we swamp, we unearth, and then on his, we'll have to set a stop on his draw step. We want to set a stop here because we're going to K-command him on his draw step, but we're going to smash him now with the Skelemental. He'll have to discard Garruk. I mean, I'm sure I could sit here for 5 seconds and see what in his massive list of cards he's trying to do here, but I feel like just trying to kill him might be... Oh, I could just kill him. I just get to K-command and kill him because K-command does deal 2 damage. K-command, Dauthi, Bobbity, and then we win the match? Oh, hey guys, we did it! Well then, that's fascinating. All right, we have won the die roll. It's got a Thunderkin Awakener and nothing else, and a bunch of lands. Try again. This seems better. It's got a Thrill, it's got fetches, it's got a Kroxa. Put one of the ball lightnings back. But yeah, Polluted Delta, swing the turn. So turn 2 Kroxa, turn 3 ball lightning. Oh, well, I knew that from the last game. Oh, now it's Titan and/or Scapeshift. All right, let's see how we do against the deck I actually thought we were playing against last time. Another Unearth. Well, that's going to be real fun, but first thing first is Kroxa. All right, there. Jin-Gitaxias. Guys, I'm having a real weird day here. We play against the best deck in Modern, and then we just get banished to the... like the jank zone. All right, draw a Blood Crypt. Well, we're done drawing just random stuff, so let's do this. Let's just go get a mountain. Just ball lightning, you know, screaming all the way from the dark, ball lightning. And then next turn we can unearth ball lightning and thrill, or I guess thrill first to see if we find anything better to do, and then ball lightning. And then the turn after that, we could probably have a graveyard big enough to drop Kroxa. Search for tomorrow. Okay, so this is some kind of Scapeshifty deck. I don't know why Jin-Gitaxias is in it, but it seems pretty standard, like Lotus Cobra big mana deck. We get smacked for 2. That's totally fine. Flamekin Harbinger. So I do think we're just gonna... we kind of want this Blood Crypt. We don't need to play it untapped, though. I don't... Actually, it's fine to play it untapped. No, we're not gonna Thrill and Flamekin. So I think the correct answer here is actually... Unearth the ball lightning, swing. Now our opponent has clearly stumbled on lands. That's not coming down next turn. 1, 2, 3. It would be 4 and 5, which means we could Kroxa next turn, or we could just Flamekin Harbinger and go get our guy and just. I feel like that's better. So we just Flamekin Harbinger. We go get the Thunderkin Awakener, and that's just kind of our plan. And if he draws a land and goes off, he draws a land and go off. But I'm hoping the Thunderkin Awakener and the ball lightning is kind of enough. Renin 6, sure. Just gonna kill Flamekin Harbinger? I don't know about that, because now I can Kroxa if I want to. Ooh, I clicked through combat, which means now we're gonna do something else. I'm a big dum-dum who misplayed. All right, I hope they don't have a way to kill me now, but I clicked go too quickly. Prime time. Okay, well, fingers crossed we didn't just lose because I did that super wrong, but they're going to get a lot of mana because they search for tomorrow. They get to get 4 mana now. If they have a fetch land, that's 5, 6. That's enough to put down a prime time. Oh, no, they just go straight to combat. You're a tri-builder, sure. So that stops Kroxa from dealing 6. Blackcleave Cliffs. Well, that gives us something to thrill with. So thrill, discard the land, Dauthi Voidwalker, or Thoughtseize. Well, I think what we do here is we attack with Kroxa, we force them to discard something. Because they're just going to block with Steve and sack it, which is fine. Honestly, it stops them from getting 1 extra mana with Lotus Cobra when it matters. Suppose we should have played the Voidwalker first, so we could have gotten both the Dryad of Ilsengrove and the Secure Tribe Elder, but I'm so trained to play your spells after you attack that happened, although that was subpar as well. Ooh, Omnath, that's not good. That's not good at all. And now if he finds a fetch land, we just lost. Okay, well, it wasn't a fetch land, but he does get to gain 4 life. I mean, the Voidwalker, really hope we find some sort of removal for Omnath right now. Flamekin Harbinger. Okay, well, that can kind of take us out of a pit a little bit. But first things first, Thoughtseize our opponent, see what they got going on in our hand. A whole bunch of stuff. So we'll take the Dryad, I suppose. From there, we'll attack with both creatures. Oop, no, don't care about Ren and 6. So swing like this. Take their Lotus Cobra. Means they just have an Excavator. So yeah, that seems about right. They go to 9. We just have to hope they don't draw land, if we're being honest. So Thunderkin Awakener, Flamekin Harbinger. Go get a Lightning Skelemental and see if we can unpunt. So next turn we're drawing Lightning Skelemental. We have a Kroxa on the field, which has just been doing a little bit of work, but not a lot of bit of work. If they draw a fetch land, we are so dunzoed. They killed the Flamekin Harbinger, which... oh, no! Oh, no, that's the worst thing that could have happened. Okay, well... We're a little screwed now, guys, because they're going to gain 4 life every turn. Totally hit us for 4. I do not mind. We draw a Lightning Bolt. We can get out of this. Lightning Skelemental. Hey, Brian, remember that thing you knew you were going to draw? Here comes Lightning Skelemental. I suppose that means we can Lightning Skelemental like every turn, because we can get the Flamekin Harbinger, and that'll let us draw any of our elementals that we want. Ooh, but the Flooded Strand is exiled because of Voidwalker. Oh man, do I feel smart. Okay, we got us a game. The Flamekin Heart. I'm assuming they're not going to block the Thunderkin Awakener, only because, like, there's a Lightning Skelemental and a Kroxa. But I suppose we just put another Lightning Skelemental on top of our deck. Like, it's our best draw. This is a hard block. Like, you just block Kroxa, right? Yeah. All right, they're down to 2. Now I feel like we unpunted. I don't feel like there's any one thing they could draw that can save them now. And boy, did that Voidwalker save our bacon. Uraboro. So they gain 4. They gain 4, hit us for 4, but then we hit them for roughly 1 million. Like, I don't see how they get out of this now. Deals 1 damage to any target. Deals 1 damage to us, which is fine. Deals 4 damage, takes us to 5. But 5 is not 9. He's going for the block. Sure. Well, let's be quick. He's probably just trying to run down our clock, which, again, I can dig it. All attack. Oh, nope. He scoops. Okay. He had a lot of basics, so I don't think Fulminator Mage is where we want to go. Dreadbores. Boy, I kind of wish these were Terminates all of a sudden. Kinda. The Voidwalkers were great. The pushes probably don't do a ton. Tourach doesn't do much. Collective Brutality really doesn't have any targets. Leyline of the Void is fine. It stops their recursion with their things. Because let's be fair, Voidwalkers saved our bacon. So what do we want to, like, take out if we're going to do that? I guess we could take out 1 Thrill. So as much as it pains me, take out 1 Ball Lightning. Put in 2 Leylines. Maybe you can take out Harbinger, put in a 3rd Leyline. Oh, there's our 2 Dreadbores we also wanted. So let's try that. Seems correct to me, but who knows? All right, this is just a bonkers good hand, because it's nice and aggressive. And turn 1 Flamekin Harbinger to get a Lightning Skelemental. Turn 2 Thunderkin Awakener. And we have a Ball Lightning. We have backup. We have plenty we want to be doing here. Please just be getting a Triumph. Okay, cool. Please go slow, opponent. We will play the role of the aggressor. Well, that means we're actually going to go get a Blood Crypt, because the Voidwalker might be important. We don't know. If they play a Ren and 6, we're playing Voidwalker next turn. But for right now, Flamekin Harbinger, Lightning Skelemental. Yield through the turn. This feels like a Ren and 6. Lotus Cobra. Okay, that's not terribly working. So, I suppose playing the Thunderkin Awakener doesn't actually do anything. So, let's play this out in case they do decide to trade for some reason. And just attack with the Flamekin Harbinger. I don't think they'll trade, though. I think this is just a free damage. Cool. Now we have Dauthi Voidwalker, so all their fetches go away. Another Lotus Cobra. That's scary. So if they play a fetch land, they still get to cast Omnath? I'm a mighty wizard. All right, let's just yield through this. So they're gonna play Omnath, but you know, you can't hate it. You can't hate it. They did double Lotus Cobra. We had a Lightning Bolt. We chose not to play it. Ooh, it's just Ren. So, okay, that's not the worst. They're going to get 1 land out of the deal, but then Ren really doesn't do anything. They're just going to cast Search for Tomorrow. Okay, which leads me to believe they have like a Dryad of Ilsengrove in their hand. I mean, we're just casting Skelemental, I reckon. Oh, is this Envec? This kind of looks like Sanctifier Envec, which is kind of annoying. Could also be Containment Priest, but I don't feel like that's as bad. Sanctifier Envec is just, you know, it has protection from our deck. Yep, swings for 2, that's fine. They didn't do anything with Ren. Fascinating. So because they didn't tick up Ren, we're going to do this instead. We're going to take a look at what's going on in their hand. I'm sorry, what? Well, whatever that is, it's mine now. Now that it's mine, what does it do? You may discard a card. Turn card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It can just highlight at the beginning of the next thing. That actually helps us a lot once we get something in the bin, but for right now, we got nothing in the bin, so we'll just attack with Voidwalker, because he's got Shadow. And yeah, I mean, what do they have in their hand still? A Forest? So we're in a pretty decent spot. I mean, if our opponent draws Omnath, they just get to play Omnath. They draw another Ren and 6. Sad. I mean, I guess they could just... no, they're putting that in their hand. Okay, so they do get to play the fetch. Oh, no, they're playing the basic, I guess, because it doesn't matter to them at this point. They want to attack. We have the Harbinger now. Okay, well, Thrill of Possibility. That's a later thing. Right now, black, red, Lightning Skelemental. Sure thing. Comes swinging in at the player twice, which is going to get rid of their fetch in their hand anyway. All right, they're down to 5, and next turn we get to Thunderkin Awakener and replay the Lightning Skelemental. Also, like, Voidwalker has just consistently dealt 3 damage. You know, Voidwalker, Modern Horizon 2 cards. All right, here we are. We have lost the die roll, as we often do. This hand's great, though. Go ahead and keep. Look at that. We have so many toys. Opponent plays an island, Aether Vial. Okay, so this is probably Merfolk. And Merfolk is fast, but hopefully we are faster. So this is gonna hurt, because we kind of need all of our lands to be red, but we also want black to cast Thoughtseize, so owie. We're gonna go to 15 on turn 1 to hopefully rip something important out of their hand. What does this do? Harbinger of Tides. Okay, so just take Tide Shaper. All right, so they can Harbinger of Tides if they want. Other than that, they're kind of out of things to do. So they probably just play Waterlogged Grove and pass. Ooh, but we found another Thoughtseize. Well, look at us. We're playing Rakdos Scam, opponent. 2 Harbingers of the Tide. That's unfortunate. Well, take that. And then play a Bloodstained Mire and pass the turn. We did a lot of damage to ourselves to win against Merfolk. If that was a Lightning Skelemental in our hand, I'd feel a lot better, but I feel like now that they're going to have the Aether Vial that can just pop our creature back to our hand, because this is any tapped creature, right? Yeah. So our first Ball Lightning isn't really going to go anywhere. Oh, and they have Tide Shaper anyway. You love to see it. So that turns... So much for casting Ball Lightning. What do we even want to draw? I guess a Bolt or something? Drew a Ball Lightning. Well, I can tell you what we didn't care to draw. So, play Polluted Delta. We just run out the Thunderkin Awakener. I guess we can. Like, there's no reason to attack, but we'll just get it out there. Because, like, next turn we get to Ball Lightning, right? Or rather, we try and Ball Lightning, they bounce it to our hand. Like, I don't think this game is so over that you, like, early scoop, but I do think we're really making it hard for ourselves here. And you could also tell our opponent doesn't really know what we're doing because they took a minute to read Thunderkin Awakener. So that'll probably stay at 2 if I know anything. Yep. So they'll probably just attack for 2 and pass. Like, I see no reason why they would do anything else unless they have a Lord. I'm a mighty wizard. All right, so they hit us for 3, and now their Merfolk are unblockable. All right, so we go get a Blood Crypt. No. All right, what do we draw? Blackcleave Cliffs. No change there. Okay, so here's the thing. Anything we play, they bounce, and then they kill us. So we're just going to scoop. Are we going to scoop? I guess we can cycle Unearth first. Then we can scoop. Fatal Push. Fascinating. So what do we want to Fatal Push? I guess we want to Fatal Push the Lord of Atlantis. They're drawing a card. No, we got rid of that. We'll play the Blackcleave Cliffs tapped, and we're not in the world of blocking, are we? Yeah, and if we can get them to play their Harbinger of the Tide now, that's probably best for us. Because, like, the Ball Lightning, or even better, the Lightning Skelemental that we're hoping to draw. Okay, so cool. So they bounce the Harbinger. Or are they just going to eat it? Oh, no, they're going to bounce it? You shouldn't bounce it. You just eat it. Yeah, no, they're just going to eat it, which is correct. They put us to 4, and then we're kind of, like, hoping for Hail Mary, like, lightning bolts, maybe? Yeah. But at least now our Ball Lightning won't get bounced back immediately. I don't know anything in their hand. If they find a Lord, we're dead. Spreading Seas on our thing. Okay, we can still cast Ball Lightning, which is what we were going to do anyway. Found a Waterlogged Grove. They can still find a Lord. I think we scoop now, guys. I think we're pretty dead. We went from like, hey, we could kind of find our way out of this to just absolutely dumpstered. We did draw a Thrill though, so we can try and Thrill. discard one of the ball lightnings we can't cast anyway. Lightning Bolt Flamekin Harbinger. So we can bolt the Tide Shaper. What's their last card? All right, well, I mean, we're gonna be at 2. I don't think we come out of this okay. Like, if our other card we drew was also a Lightning Bolt and our opponent just proceeded to draw nothing but lands, we might have found creative ways out of this, but I don't think that's where this is going. Your opponent draws a card. Did you find a Lord opponent? Wings for 2. Yep, that is correct. What do we draw? A Kroxa. Well, we can't. Oh, we could actually play that. We actually have more than I thought. So we'll play Flamekin Harbinger. Maybe. We might get countered. Counterspell is in Modern now. Nope, it goes off. We're at 2, though? So it might just be another Flamekin Harbinger? Yep. Because we have to keep blocking, right? Because we can't deal 19 all in one go. And if we get a Thunderkin Awakener, it's just going to die? Yeah, I guess we just Flamekin Harbinger, and we kind of just keep back-to-backing our blockers here. And Kroxa makes them discard something, but, you know, when you're at 2 against Merfolk, your back's pretty to the wall. It's like, we're just going to chain blocker to blocker to blocker, and then after we're done doing that, I mean, we've given them all the time in the world to rebuild, which isn't great. Let's card an Aether Vial. If we had one more not island land, we could have Kroxa'd and kind of got there. Oh, do they have a second creature? Yeah, Lord of Atlantis, we're done. Okay, against Merfolk. Believe it or not, Collective Brutality's great against Merfolk. K-Command's also a 2-for-1. What's bad? Hard to figure out what's bad here. Because, like, the pushes are good. I guess the Thoughtseizes aren't great. You take out the Thoughtseizes. Take out one Thrill. Where are we at? We want one more card? What do we not want? Maybe nip one Ball Lightning. Because, like, these can kill things and also drain them for a little bit of life. And you can get into points with Merfolk where they're at 1. These are going to force them to discard a card. It can also take out a Vial, which is kind of whatever, but the 2 damage can normally kill a Merfolk, which is pretty good. I think that's where we want to be. I don't think there's much else we want to do. And yeah, you really just want to try and keep your life up against Merfolk because they kind of blow their wad. And if you can Wrath them, we don't have a Wrath, you can normally get ahead of them. So let's try this. Sure thing. Sure. Let's try this. We have things to do on our turns. Because I'd imagine a lot of our stuff is going to get kind of screwed with by Merfolk here. 2 relics, a Spreading Seas. Well, we're not going to stop the graveyard shenanigans, so let's just go ahead and nip the Spreading Seas and keep our colored mana. They're going to turn 1 Mutavault, which is fine. We turn 2, probably just Thunderkin Awakener. Poor thing, get rid of position. I mean, we can K-Command blow up their relic in like a future turn, but Fatal Push, not bad. Take 2, just get this out. Because if they just drop Lord of Atlantis next turn, that's such Collective Brutality bait. And if we draw a land, we get to kill their Merfolk and blow up a relic, which would be pretty nice. You know, I wish my threat was a little bit more than a Thunderkin Awakener. Okay, so they're not playing Lord of Atlantis. They're going to play another relic, and that's all they're going to do. So now I really hope I draw a land. Ask and you shall receive. We have a pretty black heavy hand here. We'll just get a swamp. And do we just pass is the question. I bet you that wouldn't even be that bad an idea. We can always K-Command on their turn. Because, like, those relics aren't going to do a ton anyway. Nope, it's fine. We didn't really keep a hand that needed the graveyard. Now, is their plan to now play Lord of Atlantis? Yeah. Black, red, black, K-Command. Let's see. Destroy target artifact, deal 2 damage. So, kaboom and boom. They can blow up that relic if they want. Doesn't really matter. Yep, still kills the Lord of Atlantis. All right. So hopefully we stumbled them long enough that we can now find something of note. Another Thunderkin Awakener. I mean, sure, why not? We're dealing 2 a turn now. Look at our clock. And we have Fatal Push up for whatever they want to play. Yep, sure. K-Command. Rawr! I've made it a 9-turn clock instead of an 18-turn clock. Master of the Pearl Trident, sure. Gonna pass, so we'll just, there's really no reason, because we can Collective Brutality, and then we can Fatal Push their Mutavault. Flamekin Harbinger. Well, that's something to worry about later. First things first. Collective Brutality. Do we want to escalate 2 modes? Just drain them? Nah, that's probably not what we want to do. So just kill that thing. Then go to combat and see if they fall for it. Yep, they're going to make sure our graveyard's clean. Just a squeaky clean graveyard. Wow, they're going to do that before I attack. Well, that'll make this easier. Attack anyway. 4 blocks, I would like to do something. Thank you. Kaboom. All right, now we just hope they don't draw much, and then next turn we can Flamekin Harbinger. We get the Skelemental anyway, just to kind of beat up their hand. They have to, do they immediately Desperation Draw is the question. No, they have a Lord of Atlantis. Okay, well, there goes our attacks for a hot second. Maybe we just shouldn't have attacked and we should have Flamekin Harbingered. That this turn we would have had our Skelemental, but You know, suppose that's a next turn thing. Yes, sir. We want our Skelemental. And what we'll even do is we'll cycle Unearth, and then we'll fetch. And then, yeah, because we have no attack right now. There's no reason to throw away a Thunderkin Awakener for 1 damage. They're drawing a card. They're probably trying to get in a slightly better position. Although that relic is slowing us down. Mist Caller. Sure. I mean, we weren't using our graveyard at this point anyway. Aether Vial. Sure. What's your final card, big guy? All right, well, we'll just cycle Unearth. Fetch. Next turn, we get to crunch in with Skelemental. Getting some sort of K command would be awesome right now. Delta. Thrill of Possibility. Not where we want to be right now, unfortunately. Here comes Skelemental. I think they just take it, unfortunately. And then they just pop Relic. Vapor Snag. Okay, well, that buys them a turn, I will admit. It means they don't have to pop the Relic anymore, actually, now I think about it. Unless we happen to find a fetch land. If we find a fetch land, then we get to put multiple things in the graveyard again. But they really don't have any good attacks right now. Their Vial can't really bring in anything that's too surprising. Yep, no, I get it. You will continue to blow up our graveyard. And we get to Skelemental anyway this turn. And if we draw a land, we get to Thrill and then Skelemental, so the graveyard's clogged again. Polluted Delta. Well, that's exactly what I was asking for. So 1, 2, 3. Lightning Skelemental. Pack with the Skelemental. I mean, it's got to rip whatever's in their hand out of their hand. Hex Catcher, sure. There's no way they block. Really? Why? Couldn't tell you why they did that. I feel like the ability to counter my spells would have been more important than, like, not taking 2 damage. Now we crack this. Because we really just want them to crack that Relic. Blood Crypt. Oh. All right, well, we have a whole bunch of Blood Crypts. Go for it, opponent. Yep, they're popping the graveyards, which is what we wanted. So now, if we find something cool, we can just play it. If not, we can Thrill. If we find a Skelemental, we get to Thrill anyway. So we're kind of hoping they're just drawing lands, because the more Merfolk they draw, the better off they are. But we are going to draw a decent amount of cards next turn. Oh, no! Oh, no. Are you for real? That's so sad. Huh. They do realize they have no cards in hand, right? So I get to have a Thunderkin Awakener and they get to have nothing? Okay. I mean, I feel like we came out on the positive end of that stick. Exiling all graveyards again, sure. Looks like I didn't find anything. Ball Lightning? Well then. So obviously we Thrill, discard Ball Lightning, find a Voidwalker and a Lightning Bolt. So what we do is we attack first. Guess we should have actually played Voidwalker, but here we are. Oops. Bring that back. Oh, baby. All right. I can dig it. K-Runch. And then we just bolt them. That was fun. All right. We got a hard game 3 coming up. They had so much to kind of deal with us there. I felt like that was fine anyway. I felt like there's not a lot more we want. You know, the Fatal Pushes are great. Brutalities are good. The Hulligan's commands are great. I think that's where we want to be. I think this is pretty good right now. I mean, we're going to be on the draw rather than the play, so they might just be quicker, but I think we put ourselves in our best possible, situation against Merfolk, so let's try this. All right. This seems like an ideal hand. Everything about this hand seems amazing. Let's see how many Relics of Progenitus our opponent kept. There's one. All right, so we're gonna Inquisition turn 1. Yeah, let's just do this. Inquisition. Woo! So much going on here. Guess we actually want Harbinger to go away. That tempos us so bad. So next turn they probably just play Silvergill Adept, and we probably just play Flamekin Harbinger. We just try and go Skelemental. Spreading Seas. Well, that's annoying. Now we can't go Skelemental. Bloodstained Mire. I guess Flamekin Harbinger isn't really where we want to be right now because of the fact that we can't cast our Skelemental. So let's pop this. We'll just get a mountain for now, and we'll just play out the Awakener, and we'll just start punching him in the face. Yep, that's fine. I mean, the thing is their hand kind of redraws cards with all those Silvergill Adepts, so that's a thing. Tide Shaper. Man, they're going hardcore mana denial. I mean, we have plenty of lands in our hand, and this one we get to get rid of. Another Lightning Bolt. Well, that makes this a very easy decision. So this one has to be a Blood Crypt because we need both colors. But then we bolt this thing out of the way. Sure. Whatever, opponent. Now we have another bolt we can play with. And in the meantime, we might as well get the free attack in. Silvergill Adept showing off Silvergill Adept. Yeah. We only know 2 cards in their hand now. The Silvergill Adept isn't really the one we're worried about. I'd like to draw a land. We draw a K command. That changes things a bit. So we get to K command. Destroy target artifact, deal 2 damage. So pop, pop. Yep, that's fine. All the graveyards go away, but we still get to kill the thing. And we swing for 1, and now we kind of hope we find a 3rd land, because any land would allow us to start Skelementaling. Then again, who knows how many relics they have in hand. And they have 6 cards, we have 4. You know, there's not really any... Yeah, because they can Silvergill Adept and then Master Pearl Trident. Silvergill Adept, showing off the card we knew about. That's fine. If they Master, we just probably blow up Master with the Lightning Bolt. Spreading Seas. Okay. That's sad. Now we need to draw so many lands. Collected Brutality. Collected Brutality. We can't cast that. We'd love to, though. I think we just pass for now, so that we can kill their Master of the Pearl Trident with the Lightning Bolt. And if we find any land, the Collective Brutality kind of allows us to snowball a bit. There's another relic. Let's see how many of those we have to deal with. Lord of Atlantis. Okay, so that's not even the Master of the Pearl Trident. That's a different one. I say we go full trade mode. I'm gonna block here. Just trying to run them out of cards. Our graveyard isn't gonna be something we get to do anyway. We're way too many colors off of being able to do much with this. Unearth. We really don't want to play the Flamekin Harbinger because we want to draw lands. So we have no play here, which is bad. I feel like this is where the game gets away from us. Okay, Lightning Bolt. We really need to draw a black land. I kind of thought we'd have some land. I didn't see the double Spreading Seas in their hand. Lord of Atlantis. Okay, so they still have a Master of Pearl Trident. They continue to cast cards we don't know about. Now they cast Master of Pearl Trident. Okay. So next turn, we're going to start taking 1,000,000. Please draw lands. Oh, no. Well, you don't draw lands, you don't draw lands. Nothing we can do there. No reason to play Harbinger. I mean, that does kind of show, you know, Merfolk is forever kind of tier 2. Hasn't really been tier 1 since like 2016. And we did really good against 2 kind of brewy decks. The 2 like more established, less like off the wall decks have kind of, you know, given us a run. I mean, if we find land now, does that even do anything? Position. I can't believe how many, like we're dead. We've lost this match, but we're going to give it a second. I can't believe how many, we're done here. Can't believe how many black spells we drew and how our mana blaze got cut off. But yeah, so against the best deck in Modern, against Merfolk, we kind of lost. But hey, we're 2-2. We could go positive. So let's give it one more shot. All right, we have lost the die roll here. This is an interesting hand. We have enough lands to really get anything. I say we can keep this and we can like Thoughtseize turn 1. What's our opponent do? This is another Merfolk match. Did we play against someone completely differently and we just ended up with a Merfolk match? Oh man. And we drew another land. That does mean though we get to play Swamp to Thoughtseize our opponent and see a Merfolk hand. Oh no, it's Spirits. Okay. At least that's different. It's worth, I guess Drog Skull Captain's worse for us. Yield through the turn. So we're playing against Spirits, which is just a better version of Merfolk, if we're being fair. Because everything gets hexproof and they fly. They don't have to change our lands. What's our turn 2 going to be, though? Another Thoughtseize. Well, I think that solves the question for us. So we're going to play Bloodstained Mire. We're going to Thoughtseize our opponent. Hopefully they didn't draw a counterspell. Feels like they drew a counterspell. Oh, no. What does this say? Creatures you control have counter the first spell or ability. So take Supreme Phantom. Then we'll do this. Then we'll get just a mountain probably. And we'll just play Flamekin Harbinger and we'll get a Skelemental? I feel like just getting a Skelemental is probably the best. I realize like Thunderkin Awakener means I could then also get whatever I want on top of the deck, but I feel like we need to be faster than that. Because like next turn, they get to play Glass Spinner, and then after that, we get to Skelemental them. Then we try and win with Kroxa. Doesn't have flash, does it? No, okay. They might have just pulled a Drog Skull Captain. Or a, what'd you call it? Spell Queller. Could also be Spell Queller. Let's play this on red. Red, red, black. Skelemental. Okay, well they didn't. I guess they're doing that because they want to keep their Blast Spinners and just... Oh, they just concede. Fascinating. Oh, and they concede the match. Then. I didn't have that on my... Skelemental made somebody salt off? Really? Well, that was certainly interesting. Technically, we have a winning record because that guy ran away screaming. Sure. I mean, I was game to play against... Technically, that's a win against a tier deck. You know, Spirits is just better Merfolk, and we won the match because I guess he just didn't want to play against Skelemental. So what do I have to say about this deck? This deck is better in every way. In every way. In every every way versus the Jund list. The Jund list was fun. It had Coco. It was designed to get a ball lightning out immediately, but this Rakdos version with the hand disruption and the Flamekin Harbingers is just better. If you want to play a deck like this is about what I would have it look like. Again, I might change the lands a little bit more. I don't think a pathway is needed when you top out at 3 mana. I love the sideboard now with the Leylines. I love the Voidwalker's main. Voidwalkers did kind of win us a game there. So again, this is a good deck. Thank you, Mark, for sending it to me. Thank you, Sylvester, for sharing me the 8-rack Skelemental deck. That is on my radar for the near and far future. And yeah, this was just a lovely jaunt down the nonsense trail here, I just want to say. So if you have a list you want me to send out or want me to take a look at, go ahead and email it to HeyDummyPlayThis@gmail.com. That's HeyDummyPlayThis@gmail.com. All right, for those of you who have been with the channel for a long time, you know now is when I look into my box of wonderful goodies in Magic's history and I start showing off things. Give me a second and I'll find something cool. Hello and welcome to the Black Void. And as far as things like secret layers go, I haven't really done a ton of secret layers, mostly because I'm in Australia and the shipping to Australia for secret layers is insane. It normally doubles the cost of the secret layer to get them here. So when I can get my hands on certain secret layer things I want at a reasonable cost, I try to. So recently, a recent acquisition are these just, oh my god, they're so beautiful in person. I don't know how well they're showing up on camera. Just these absolutely gorgeous, super hard to show off on camera blood moons. Oh, they're like Willy Wonka's golden tickets. Just get a good look at that there, YouTube internet. Oh man, they are so shiny and so chrome, and they just called out to me in a way that I was just like, I need these in my life. So that is more recent than some of the other things I show off, if I'm being honest here. I tend to show off a lot of older stuff. But hey, this week I just wanted to show off those wonderful things. Thank you guys very much for coming along for the ride. I will see you next time. Thank you very much, and bye.